He balanced books for a living, but the numbers he uncovered didn't just cost someone money, they cost him his life. In Westbridge, Ohio, a respected accountant was found dead in his home. No forced entry, no clear suspect, just a sticky note on the desk. Nice try. This wasn't a robbery, this was a message, and the story behind it would unravel an entire town. On the morning of October 3, 2022, Harold Cline was discovered murdered inside his modest two-story home. He had been beaten and strangled in his office. The scene was chaotic, papers everywhere, his laptop missing, and the eerie note left on his desk. Harold was 62, quiet, methodical, a man who'd built his reputation on trust. He'd done taxes, audits, and books for nearly every business in Westbridge. No one expected him to end up a victim. But as investigators began to dig, it became clear this wasn't random. This was targeted. Something Harold knew had gotten him killed. Harold had discovered something. Deep inside client records from a local construction firm, he uncovered massive financial fraud, phony expenses, shell companies, and missing millions. And the company? Kellner & Sons Construction, a firm with government contracts and political ties. Harold was preparing to report them. But before he could, someone made sure he never got the chance. He wasn't killed for money. He was killed for what he knew, for the truth he was about to expose. He was a threat, and in their world, threats get silenced. All signs pointed to Brian Kellner, the head of the construction firm. On paper, Kellner was squeaky clean, church-going, respected, untouchable. But GPS logs placed his truck near Harold's house that night. Surveillance footage showed the same make and model vehicle circling the neighborhood hours before the murder. And phone records revealed something darker, a series of angry voicemails from Kellner to Harold days before his death. Then there was Melinda Graves, Kellner's assistant. She vanished just 2 days after the murder. Everyone who had something to lose disappeared. But the evidence didn't. The scene looked messy, papers tossed, drawers pulled, but it wasn't a robbery. There was no forced entry, no signs of struggle in other rooms. And the autopsy revealed something chilling: chloroform in Harold's lungs. He'd been sedated before he was beaten. The killer wanted control. No noise, no fight, just silence. Investigators later found a false wall panel in Harold's office. Inside was a flash drive, encrypted. It contained scanned invoices, secret recordings, and a list of offshore accounts tied to Kellner. Harold had compiled a dossier, a kill file, but it wasn't enough to save him. Harold was murdered exactly 1 week before his scheduled interview with federal auditors. In the days leading up to his death, he called the IRS fraud hotline 3 times. He sent 3 emails to his daughter, saying he felt watched. Neighbors saw him pacing outside, looking paranoid. One neighbor recalled seeing a man in a construction vest arguing with Harold by his mailbox the day before. Nobody called the police. By the time anyone did, it was too late. The murder took place in Harold's home office on Sycamore and 8th. The very place where he quietly uncovered years of corruption became the scene of his execution. That house became a shrine for a few days. Candles, flowers. But once the media left, so did the town's attention. The truth Harold tried to protect was buried with him until that flash drive surfaced. Its contents leaked. The FBI got involved. Indictments followed. And the town of Westbridge will never look the same again. Harold Cline wasn't a cop. He wasn't a whistleblower. He was just a man who believed in doing the right thing. A man who counted numbers until he counted too much. If you think small towns are always safe, think again. Because sometimes the most dangerous thing in a quiet place is the truth. Subscribe for more stories that expose the secrets buried just beneath the surface. And remember, if the numbers stop adding up, someone's hiding the answer.